right, we are your one-screen wonders. Having some technical difficulties here at the old Nerd World News headquarters. My former 2-monitor setup is currently down to 1. So we're trying to wing it as best as we possibly can, as per usual. Anyway, it's good to see everybody. It is Monday. It is 8 o'clock. And if it's Monday at 8 o'clock, it is Mighty Monkeys, Nerd World News. And yes, we both need vacations. I can see you yawning in the screen.
I know. I'm so sorry.
Peter, good to see you. Jason, Greg is on board. Jason, I'm sorry. I haven't been ignoring you, buddy. I just haven't been answering my phone for anybody lately. I've just been so busy. I'm sorry.
Greg,
Melanie's on board, and
Loki
there's Vicky.
Is so freaking cute.
She is. We need to come over and cuddle the Loki because it's a tiny little fuzzball, you know. And Dana's here. Hello, Dana. And Jason is there. No, Jason. Okay, so in our continued series of not doing news anymore.
Pardon me, I am so sorry.
Yeah, where have you been? Are you still suffering from your Saturday adventure?
Maybe that between.
May I?
Yes.
Thank you.
Between Friday night's event at the Rochester Museum and Science Center, which was amazing, and then my whole debacle of taking my kid to the football game in Buffalo,
the preseason game in Buffalo,
which we thoroughly enjoyed. However, I didn't thoroughly enjoy having to talk to the sheriffs after the game.
Yeah, somebody smacked your car.
Yeah, someone scratched the front of my car.
It's not too bad. It's just a scratch.
It'll
buff out.
It should buff out, yes.
It'll buff out.
But it's probably,
oops.
I want to say probably close to $1,000 worth of damage.
Oh, that's right. Newer cars,
Newer cars.
Oh, it's just terrible.
Like, so,
yeah.
Is FC3?
It's probably Ann.
Deanna.
Okay, well, $5 says it's Ann, and then so
I say Deanna.
If it's D, then you get $5. There you have it.
And
the clue thing sounded awesome, Dan. Yeah, and you know
I can
what?
actually pay up too.
Okay, I can Venmo. All right.
Yes.
So anyway, and just so everybody knows, the event coordinator Taylor, who's our liaison at Rochester Museum and Science Center, contacted T here and was like, "Oh my God, you guys were amazing! So congratulations, Chrissy, Jason, James. You guys were just fantastic as always. Greg and Melanie, words cannot describe just how awesome you guys are. So we appreciate you."
So the next event that we're going to be out at the Rochester Museum and Science Center will be October 28th. It's a Saturday. It's called the Villains Ball. It's Ann.
I was right. Thank you.
Chris doesn't have the Benjamins.
I don't have the Benjamins. I don't even have the cleavage for that either.
Man.
Jason, you are amazing. Anthony Brooks says 1 month away from Comic-Con, so stoked, and he's saying, "What's up? Good to see you, man."
Yeah, actually.
Can we pick up tickets for the con physical locations yet? The answer is no, but soon we'll have that squared away. We usually don't. We've been kind of shying away from paper tickets a lot more lately.
I thought Dan ordered some.
He did order some, but he hasn't distributed them yet. So once they do, we'll make the announcement and let you guys know where you can pick those up. Usually at your favorite comic book shops. But that's a great question, Peter. Thank you for asking that. Now, in September, at the Total Sports Experience in Gates, you might say, as somebody has legitimately done so in one of our Facebook threads, how do we get there? It's unfortunately they're not able to get here because they don't have a car, they don't have transportation, whatever the case may be. Andy Mersky, our man about town and master of folk dance, has been so kind as to take a look at schedules and whatnot. And his statement is, if you can get to the transportation hub in downtown Rochester, you can get a bus out to the Rochester Tech Park. Why is that important? Well, the Rochester Tech Park is across the street from the Total Sports Experience in Gates on Elm Grove. So that would be the 19 bus, the number 19 bus.
I believe that's what
so you can look up. You can look it up on rts.com or rts.gov.
I will double check it right now.
And Tanya will be double checking it while we're talking about it. But public transportation is available to the convention. You could also Uber. If you are driving and you have not been to the Total Sports Experience in Gates, your best bet is if you're coming from the city side, you'd be doing 490 westbound and then getting off at the 531 exit. And then immediately the first exit upon 531 will be Elm Grove Road. You get off at Elm Grove, make the left-hand turn, go over the 531 and the overpass, and the first building on your left is the TSE. So those are easy ways to find your way to 880 Elm Grove Road in Gates, New York.
Yes.
The Total Sports Experience in Gates. 19?
Yes.
Which was my cousin's jersey number when he played for the Amerks.
Rochester Technology Park. It's the Connection Hub. It is...
Anthony goes on to say, me and a friend of mine always pop into the Comic-Con because it's the show to be at and you don't want to miss it. Dude, I appreciate that. That is some hardcore props, and I always appreciate a good vote of confidence from the fans. It helps us keep doing what we're doing. It keeps us moving forward. And that's some pretty good info right there. Thank you, Melanie. It's a small thing, but when people say, hey, we have a concern or we have a question or we have a suggestion, we're going to try and find a way to get you an answer for it. Yes.
Okay. So if you're at the RTS Transit Center on a Saturday or a Sunday at 9:30, the bus leaves the transit center at 9:30. You hit the Rochester Tech Park Connection Hub at 10:02.
Okay.
So
and probably like a 10-minute walk across the street kind of a thing.
Right. So if you want to make sure that you have plenty of time, you get to the RTS Transit Center at 8:30. And then you get to the Rochester Tech Park at 9:02, and then you can get across the street and get in line and things like that. And
are there other buses throughout the morning? And how would people get home?
Then inbound to the transit center, if you get on the bus at Rochester Tech Park, it leaves at 5:07, 6:07, 7:07, 8:07. It leaves on the hour and the hour and the 7 minutes.
There you go.
And then you're back into the transit center by like this, either the 6:37, the 7:37, the 8:37, depending on what time.
Okay.
So
there you have it. If you are not disinclined to use public transportation, there is a way to get to the convention. And if you have any other further questions or you have any other concerns that you think we're not addressing, please feel free to send us a message and we'll be happy to see what we can do to answer those questions for you.
And it would be myrts.com.
Myrts.com. Okay, that's good.
And you click the one that says 19 Buffalo Road.
Okay.
That's the
19 Buffalo Road. Okay. Peter points out, or you can take an Uber if you are, fiscally able to do that sort of thing. Anne has a question. It's most likely going to be silly, and I appreciate those. Melanie says, you guys don't want to miss the scavenger hunt. There are some awesome prizes. Melanie's been working very hard on that.
Did you count the number of lanyards?
4,593.
I don't know. I gave her lanyards.
4,593.
I don't think there was that many.
4,592.
Maybe.
Probably.
Hold on. Wait, let's see.
What other stuff do we have from tonight? Did we want to talk about panels?
Sure.
Okay. What time do we open and close both days? We open on both days at 10 a.m. Okay, so Saturday at 10 and Sunday at 10. On Saturday, we close at 7 o'clock p.m. On Sunday, we close at 5. See, and that's an easy question to answer too. I love that. And those questions and more can be answered on our website, fc3roc.com, home of the greatest entertainment event in Western New York.
Okay.
This is when you're supposed to be making commentary, but you're stuck on your phone right now. So I'm staring at the camera and people are like, what's going on, Chris?
I'm looking because I'm figuring somebody else is going to have something to do with the bus the bus and say,
I just want to point
how
out,
much does
this is my $5 now. Look at that. I won that shit. Fair and square. Hi, Bonnie. How you doing? Good to see you.
One ride pass pack of 10 is $10. An all-day unlimited pass is $3 if you're taking more than 3 trips on one day. I don't know what a go-kart is. I know what a go-kart is, but not a go-kart.
Okay. All right. Have you seen the new quote-unquote Chris Ken Drew? Yeah, it's so weird to see yourself in a comic book. And it's so weird to see Ken's, opinion of what I look like. That's kind of wild too. Although my one it's very faithful. Like Tiny said, you can tell by the hair. But my one nitpick is I never wear my button-down shirts tucked in. It's just a thing. So but I'm the only person who's going to be bothered by that, so it doesn't matter. It's perfectly cool.
Okay, baby.
Melanie goes on to say, fun fact, Chris Holden Reed was on last week's episode of Murdoch Mysteries. That's cool.
Ooh.
I think
That's not part of the strike, right?
I don't know. We're going to have to do, there's going to be a lot of careful bobbing.
Yes, that's one thing.
Let me talk about that when it comes to the panels. Because of the writers and actors strike right now, there's a lot of constraints on the panel stuff. We're going to find lots of cool things to talk about with our guests. For instance, Charisma Carpenter has done a lot of activism, and she has her own kind of like an online convention. I plan on talking to her about that. Andy had a great point. We can talk to them about their journey to become actors and what inspired them, and name other actors that they've worked with that really enjoyed stuff like that. But right now, because of it's almost effectively like a media blackout of sorts. We can't talk about projects that they've been involved with and involved in. Right?
We can't mention characters.
We can't mention characters. We can't mention
TV
shows. And we're trying to find the dynamic of that. Like, is there certain loopholes? Are there certain shows that weren't represented by studios that are being struck up against and things like that? Stuff that happened in Canada, stuff in the UK, stuff like that. But right now, all of our loopholes are being fairly well closed by lawyers and stuff. So just be understanding, and just be understanding of the fact that if you ask a question and the talent says, unfortunately, I can't speak to that right now, just be cool with it. All right. They're not trying to be jerks about it. They're just trying to be respectful of the rules of the road as they stand right now in a really weird situation. Have we been through very weird situations before during this convention? Yes, we have.
COVID.
So just roll with it and realize that they're not trying to be pains in the butts. We have, as we've said on a couple of occasions, we've reconfirmed with everybody, so nobody will be affecting the strike will not be affecting anybody's presence at the convention, just kind of limiting some of the things they can talk about while they're there.
And X, formerly Twitter, is blowing up with in regards to so-and-so was at a convention and they're breaking the strike rules. Or so-and-so was doing this and then the
backlash has been potent.
So we don't want FC3 to be a part of that either. So
right. And Jorge Cruz is on. Good to see you, big man. Always good to see you. Vicky does mention Canadian, Melanie and Vicky are talking about Canadian shows. We just want to be very careful about that. Again, like I said, there's loopholes, but some people, lawyers and whatnot, are closing those loopholes. So we're just be mindful of that. There's going to be some things we can talk about, some things we can't. Ultimately, I'm always going to leave it up to the talent. And if you ask like Julian or Chris a question about something and they respectfully say, unfortunately, we can't really talk about that right now, just be cool with it. They're not trying to, like I said, they're not trying to be jerks about it. They're just trying to be respectful of the situation. And Bonnie's right. We can always find something to talk about.
We do have our hands somewhat tied.
We do have our hands tied. Look, but here's the thing is we've been at this for 6 or 7 years at this stage. 7. This is our 7th show. I, as the programming director, I deal with the panels all the time. I go out to YouTube and, Google all the time, and I'm finding interviews with these stars, and I'm finding panels from other conventions with other stars. And it's great to learn how other folks do it. And it's inspiring because the things you can start talking about are very broad. Like with Eric Avari, when we had who we affectionately call Uncle Eric with us a few years ago.
I miss Uncle Eric.
Oh, he was amazing. Just an amazing man. But he's touched so many different genres and so many different projects. And we were able to talk to, his experience as an actor and the things he has done, the things he has seen, the people he's talked to. He is a big advocate for several charities as well. So it was we had a wonderful 45-minute conversation. I don't think we mentioned The Mummy or Stargate or anything once. And we didn't have our hands tied by a strike at the time. It was easy to do, and he's just easy to talk to. And the one thing I've learned so far about Julian and Chris, just watching them in other formats, they are really easy to talk to. I am so looking forward to meeting these two guys. Charisma, her name speaks for itself. She really is a very fascinating person, and I'm looking forward to meeting her as well. And with Karen Parsons, and I never get his name right.
Joseph Marcel.
I keep wanting to call him the character name, Joseph.
You want to call him Jeffrey.
I keep wanting to call him Jeffrey. I'm just looking forward to meeting these people, these human beings, and getting a chance to chat with them. Batman John is here. Hello, Batman John. Good to see. We will dance and be crazy and have a blast. Melanie, you have never been more right. Now, Dana asks, does that mean they might not have stills from the show? I don't know how that works. We're working that out. They are going to most likely have headshots. Their personal headshots, like their acting resume kind of headshots and stuff like that. But will they have character pictures?
We don't know.
We don't know yet. We can't say no.
But if you happen to have something from a show that they're in, you have a picture that you've printed or something like a Funko Pop of something or other, you can bring that to be autographed. So all I know is they're not providing anything that is studio related.
Yes. So again, those are some twists and turns that we're navigating as we speak at this time. Now, the panel schedule is nearly full. I'm going to release the draft schedule in very kind of primitive, probably Microsoft Excel format to our FC3 Facebook by the end of this week. Just so people can see where things are and how it's programmed so far. Now, I want to make sure you're very understanding that it's card subject to change. There might be some modifications and additions before September. I want to wrap it up really by September 10th, the week before the show.
Because the schedule's got to get, the Excel schedule sheets either got to be printed or emailed to me so I can.
So we'll enter them into GrowTix so they're on the Gather schedule.
Yes.
Right? Gather's the app?
Gather is the app.
I got that right. I'm excited. All right. So I have my playing cards that I have them sign in. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. Melanie goes on, ooh, I can bring my Funko Pop of me and get them to sign that because that wouldn't be weird at all. I love it. This is why we love Melanie so much.
I know I do have to have, I am going to be having a phone call with one of the agents and the rep that's coming and myself and figure out what's going on with photos and etc., that type of stuff.
Yes.
So as soon as we know, we'll let you know.
That's our thing. As soon as we learn something, we share it. We don't hold back. We don't hide anything in mystery, stuff like that. As soon as we know what's going on, we're going to provide that information so that our fans are as informed as we are. I'm sure there's a few of you out there that actually know more about FC3 than I do. And that's probably not that difficult in the overall. But Melanie goes on to say, oh my God, I thought Tanya was going to say, oh yes, I'm going to have a phone call with Melanie. Well,
oh yeah, that too.
We can do that. We don't mind talking to you. Greg, on the other hand, I don't know what to tell you, but.
Wow, depending on how I look in the light, it doesn't look like I have an eyebrow over here.
It's the angle of the camera.
Yeah.
It's much higher up, right? It's looking down at us. Usually it's like looking straight at us.
Okay, I do have eyebrows.
All right, Bonnie says, I got to go. Everyone have a great weekend. Bonnie, you too. Thank you for stopping in and hanging out with us for a few minutes. We appreciate you. Looking forward to seeing you in September.
Don't mind me. I'm still.
Used to see me. Well, we're going to wrap up pretty quickly.
I have no idea why.
Well, you've had a busy weekend.
Busy weekend, yeah. And 4 days left of summer school. And
how are you?
How am I?
Yeah, how are you?
I'm okay.
I'm stress levels are maxed out right now.
Yes, I know. I'm sorry.
It happens.
Yeah. No,
usually to me.
I would say my stress levels aren't maxed out, but I think I'm putting on a good face right now for everything that's going.
A very pretty face. You have a very pretty face.
Oh, thank you.
You do.
Oh, thank you. So I think on the outside I might look really calm, cool, collected.
You're a duck on the water.
But underneath I'm like,
right? Yes, you're the duck on the water. Just shh.
Yeah, Peter, I am tired, and I have no idea why. I'm thinking. Ever since I'm going through that change, being over the age of 50, I don't get as good sleep at night. So I don't know. I'm hot and I'm not comfortable, and hormones and all that kind of other fun stuff.
You will adapt, improvise, and overcome. You are amazing. You're more than trying.
Too much pride. Oh my God! The one drink I had Friday night, I had one. It was called the Mary Pickford.
Come here.
And let me look.
She wants to say hi to everybody.
And I'm looking up the name.
Juno gets to say hi to everybody. Look right over there. Look right over there. And say, hi, everybody.
The drink that I had at the Clued-In event was called the Mary Pickford. It's white rum, pineapple juice, grenadine, and Marciano liquor.
Stop.
Chrissy drank my drink because I didn't like it. Which one did you have? Hi, babies. Juno. Hi. Look over here. So I can't wait to make that. So yes. I'll say that was the scratch in my car today.
All right. Stop it. Come on. Good girl. I'm gonna go find something to play with.
You didn't like it? Oh my God, it was delicious. You must not like sweet drinks. Or they didn't make it well enough. I don't know. I liked it. But yeah, no. So finishing up summer school this week. Sometime next week I have to start organizing my new classroom because they've painted it and everything's shoved to the middle of my room.
Right.
It's not pretty. Then writing some curriculum. Basically, I have 2 weeks until school starts. September 5th is orientation day.
Right.
So I have 5 days where I don't have anything scheduled per se in the next, and in those 5 days, 2 of those days are moving days for my classroom.
Okay. Well, do FC3 stuff and be lazy.
I'm going to attempt to try to do FC3 stuff and be lazy because one of those days I'll be doing comic chick stuff with Ann. So
Mr. Cruz says, Chris, I got to get you in the video this year. Find me, brother. I'm going to be in. Let me know. Just put the camera in front of me. I'll take care of the rest. We have to go to the movies again sometime. I loved watching movies with this dude. You know, when we saw it was so funny when we saw Ghostbusters together.
Oh, that's right.
And he sat next to me. He's just like, "This is so cool." I'm like, "I'm not an expert," but we had a freaking blast. Melanie says, Greg just went into Wegmans with me in my Jareth costume after we took pictures. That's phenomenal. Because guess what? You remind me of the babe. Oh my God, I've got my work ahead of me. You saw that, didn't you? You saw that. All right, we're going to let you off the hook. We're going to let you guys off the hook. So here's a thing. There was a Ghostbuster glue event. I think someone crossed the streams. See, Greg gets it. There we go.
Oh,
thanks,
there was
Melanie.
someone dressed as Dick Tracy.
Dick Tracy? That's phenomenal.
Dressed all in yellow.
That's phenomenal. Okay, now at Halloween time, the event at the museum is the Villains Ball. She has an idea. I have an idea. I got to work on mine. I haven't told her what it is yet. I don't intend to. I want her to see it, like just show up.
I had thought Bonnie and Clyde so I could wear my dress again.
Yeah.
But both Melanie and Chrissy said, no.
You've been put on request.
Yes.
And I agree with that request. I need
a tiara from Melanie.
It'll be fantastic. I think you will rock it.
I need to buy it.
Yep.
I was say, I think that dress was like only $40. So
awesome sauce. Well, friends, we're going to let you go. We'll let you off the hook at this point. So at this stage, we'll be back in 1 week's time to talk about more stuff. Probably gonna see. I'm trying to get my hands on some vendors so we can get them online with us.
Maybe I can get Alana's husband.
There you go, Chris.
Yes. His Krause or whatever he does.
Smith.
He does the Volps training blades.
Yes.
He's going to be back.
All right, friends. You guys have a great week. Have a safe week, and we will talk to you again next week. I gotta go now. Bye-bye.